Alrighty, guys, it is time to wrap it up for today. It is 3:30, and we are looking at the market, which is like a non-stop grind to the upside. So I've been just just watching this, waiting for a potential little pullback. But I mean, you can always try to buy it and just hope for the best and see that you can get caught up in anything. But it's been like a slow grind to the upside, no relief whatsoever. If you try to get short on these on the way up, you'll just find yourself caught, twisting in the wind until you get stopped out. So uh, when it starts doing that, you either just hop on that long side and try to ride it, or if you're patient, or you do what I do right now, sit and wait for a potential failure, and it'll happen probably like in a half hour, not in at a half hour shift, so at 1:30 to 2:30 or something like that. And you'll see it'll start knocking it down, and you see immediately that things are changing. And that's where you need to kind of be aggressive on hopping on that short side. Right now, there's no reason to try to step in front of it. It doesn't look like they're giving anything up just yet. Now, it could also be the CPI number came out this morning, and that was a good number. The reaction was positive, and it could very well be like a net accumulation kind of a day, given the lack of tariff impact on the inflation numbers. So early on this morning, if you looked at we had this reaction, right? So the CPI came out, positive reaction. There was not big impact on the CPI from any tariffs. And after a little volatility at the open, just kind of started to grind to the upside, getting into the London close, and then just kept going in slow grind. And so far, I'm not seeing any weakness at all. But sometimes it may not happen. They may just keep grinding it and just ending up on a high. Sometimes you get it close to the end of the day like this, or it can happen pretty much any time. So they just knock it down really hard. Okay, so buying just interest just stops, and then some short-term profit taking just knocks it down. But at this point, I will just start off on the long side of the market. No reason to do anything else until we see some change in direction or some kind of a knockdown happening. So starting off on the long side, looking to buy weakness, we are making new highs. Um, we are right up here at the 64, 60 to 70s, making new highs and ready to extend to the upside. So that's where we are. Going into tomorrow, we have mortgage apps, we have oil report, and that's about it. So not a whole lot of news to drive the market in tomorrow's trading. On Thursday, we get the PPI number. That could be interesting, but again, both CPI and PPI is tending to be less important, or less of a reaction to them. This one was actually pretty good. I think people expected a much harder read on inflation, and the lack thereof probably caused a little bit of buying frenzy to kick in. So slow accumulation day, people slowly buying up stocks here. So starting off from the long side, looking to buy weakness, not unless they trade below. I would give it this level down, 64.30s. So I would look to buy against the probably against that ledge, 55s, against the 45s, probably the 40s. Below this level, the 30s, we'll take off the long bias and go back range bound. So that's the way I would start in the overnight. So looking to buy weakness. Let's see if this is going to get more strength, or if this is just a squeeze to the upside. Sometimes a day like this, you get caught on the short side, you try short trades, short trades, short trades. You just have to realize when the market keeps going against you, stop digging. So I get myself caught in that thing as well. So it is too easy to do, especially when it's a super slow day. You think okay, it's like, okay, here we go, 2 o'clock hour, get short. No, no, just keep going. And if you got short here around about the 2:30 area, still twisting in the wind, just kind of going sideways, not that nothing's happening. So starting off from the long side, going into the overnight, let's see how far they can take it. Looking at the bonds and the NASDAQ, so the bond market to the downside, all the way down here to the 1412s. They slowly drifting back up again, but pretty good move to the downside on the bond. So starting off on the short side, they're going to sell strength at this point against the against these single prints at the 26s and maybe up to the 115s for rotations back down on the bonds. So and then NASDAQ also some new highs on the NASDAQ. They made new highs today. and a slow grind to the upside. This one is the kind of the one I'm watching because a little bit more done, a little bit more movement in it. But man, you don't want to be on the short side of this one. That would have been like a knockdown ground, knockdown drag out. And if you got short against something up here, you would just be twisting in the wind for like a couple of hours before it starts moving. So I'm just not patient enough to trade this stuff. It's just unless you're in a long trade and you're already in the money and you can just kind of look away. But if you're sitting here watching the screen trying to figure out right there before it's actually just scratch it or not, this sucks. This absolutely sucks. That's a slow grind to the upside. So starting off on the long side on the Nasdaq as well. If they trade below this area, I would say the 7,678, probably it could be the 800s. Probably is a good level. Let me see, double check that. So 800s, yeah, well, it's going to be 800s or the 770. These two support areas. We get trade below those to take off the long bias. But if either of them holds, I would stay on the long side. Then finally, oil and gold. And I haven't taken any trades today. I mean, I didn't do anything this morning. I've been still watching this grind to the upside, unwilling to hop on the long side just by the high. So yeah, that's one of those days. So gold just sitting in the range around 3,400. So far, that reverse retest could work out on gold. I mean, we talked about it a few times. The reverse retest in this area so far, the 3380s, or they bounced off it. We'll see if they can hold it. If they hold 3380s, I think they have a shot at running right back up here into the high 3,400s. So we'll see how that shakes out. But gold, range bound, I'll be looking to buying gold here down at the 90s, the 84s, and the 80s here for rotations back up. So these are the lower levels. If they start taking out that 77, 78 to 80s, yeah, then bets are off and we're heading lower. And on oil, slowly grinding to the downside, and this is going to keep going lower. So oil is just it's by every policy out there is about getting oil cheaper, so that's going to come down. And that's traded from the short side at this point. So that's solidly below 64, moving lower. And I would just look at this as the next attractor on the downside on oil should be down here at the 61, 62. Right, that's your next attractor on oil. Now we are going to be rolling oil in a few days to the October expiration. We're trading September. It's going to be the V expiration. Hopefully I'll get an email out on that as well. All right, back to the ES. And so far, no weakness in sight. Look at that freaking thing. So no weakness in sight. It looks like they're almost popping into the close. So unrelenting grind to the upside. So so we'll see where they end up. But I mean, now it's as I said, unless we get a pretty good pullback, we're starting off on the long side and see how far they can take it. So we'll leave it there, guys, and I'll see you back bright and early in the morning. See if I can speak better tomorrow morning. All right, guys. Yeah, see you back then.